Hi guys, welcome. Sorry, I shaved, so I have a little blood on. Uh, Welcome. Jesus is King, like always. I hope everyone is having a fantastic time. And if this video literally called you, then I bet that you're an overthinker. And I'm going to give you guys not only tools about overthinking, but we're just going to break down overthinking overall. Now, what does the Bible say about overthinking? Worry not about anything, but give your prayers and your worries to God, and He will do whatever you ask Him to do. So, we know this: God will not give us what we want if it's not pure, right? Not because He doesn't love you, but because the last thing He wants from His children is for us to stray away from the faith, right? So, if I say, Jesus, please let this girl answer me, but instead of her answering me, she ghosts me. But little did I know what was really going to happen between me and her. God forbid something bad would have happened. Now, where what I only wanted from her was lust, right? Let's say hypothetically. So, His plans is always greater than ours. So remember that for overthinking. God's plan will always be greater than ours. And remember, if you have a plan, even the Bible says we make our plans, but God instructs it. God allows it all to happen. So remember, God will give you everything you want, but remember to limit it. And guys, what is overthinking? What is anxiety? It's worrying about something that hasn't happened yet. So I'm overthinking, right? Let's just say, what's an example? I'm going to drive to Boston. It's an hour drive for me. Oh my God, what if I get into a car crash? What's the first thing with overthinking, guys? What happens with overthinking? What if? This phrase, the what if, will literally destroy you if you let it. Now, I said this in one of my other videos, and I truly believe it. One of the worst things a man can experience and a woman can experience is worrying about something that will never happen to them in this lifetime. And you spent your whole life worrying about it, and now you're old and look, nothing happened. So, with overthinking, you need to grab it in the act. And I was on the phone with one of my buddies, and he gave me this idea. And he was saying, I'm talking to a girl. I'm not going to say any names, but he was like, I'm talking to a girl. Sometimes I overthink. And we talked about it, and we got on the topic of trauma. If you suffer hardship, you will tend to overthink because, and I said this, with overthinking, sometimes the only remedy to it is doing what you're scared to do to show yourself that it's not always going to be the same. If you get cheated on and you go, okay, in order to never feel that again, I'm going to be cold-hearted and a ruthless asshole, and I'll never let anyone get close. So every time a girl gets close and I start to she's super sweet, super kind, super loving, I go, no. I start to overthink. What if she's using me? What if she's lying? What if I get hurt in the future? And instead of actually healing through it, what I'm going to do is push her away. So the only way to really heal overthinking is to take the step and do what you're scared to do. Because if I actually date her and I actually try it out, what am I going to do? I'm going to get over the fears of every girl might be the same, right? So what you need to do is you need to give whatever you're scared of a shot so you don't keep building trauma around it. Because that's how overthinking really gets you. You have one thought and you never step outside of the thought. And you never do it. But the only way to show yourself, even if it doesn't work out, at least you showed yourself. If you do it and it doesn't work out, you're not going to die. And that's everyone's deepest fear, whether you want to believe it or not. that whatever you're doing could lead to death, right? Like when you're going on vacation, the biggest fear people have is, oh, what if I die? This is a car crash, plane crash, whatever the case may be. That's everyone's biggest fear leading up. And it's the truth. If you're not going to die, what is your time up? Then no, because you still got time. So a tool that I used because I thought everything. And this is something that you guys probably aren't going to expect. Whatever the situation is, you need to talk about it. That's one rule for overthinking. And that's actually one thing I never did. In all of my relationships, that's actually my biggest downfall in my relationships. Anytime I overthinking, I got too nervous to even say something. And guess what? I ended up talking about it, but when it was too late. And what did I do? Instead of sharing it in a nice manner, I shared it in a manner with, I'm done with you, I'm going to walk away. Instead of saying, hey, this is what you're doing, I don't like it, and it makes me overthink, it gives me anxiety, I say, hey, I don't fucking need you. And I think a lot of my times, I definitely should have talked about it, because I never really needed these people. I'll be honest with you, like, I lost all of them, and I've only, like, gotten better. But it's the fact that now they're going to carry that in their next relationships, right? Now, I'm just another person that they had with not really good communication skills, and they might even carry it on to the next one. So, and guys, overthinking will kill your peace and your relationships with others. I'm telling you, dude, if you're the type of person to make a joke and you think the whole room hates you because they didn't laugh at your joke, a way I got over that was I continuously kept making the jokes that no one laughed at, but I still laughed at them. And what did I do? I found the circle that really laughed at my jokes. Now, you have to be yourself authentically 110%, because that's where overthinking comes from. When you feel like you can't really be yourself, right? I feel like my girl's cheating. I don't want to say anything. I just really think about it. And I'm going to tell you something. There's a difference between intuition and overthinking. If your intuition's telling you something, don't ignore it. Face what it needs you to do. But if it's overthinking, it always comes from the what if. The intuition goes, no, I know it. But remember, even the Bible says to not lean on our own understandings. But sometimes you have to. In the sense where you have to trust that God put that in your heart for a reason. Because God said he puts the pure desires in our heart. So if it's a pure thought, maybe it might hurt, but it's true. You feel like it's true, then discuss it first. Whatever the case may be, you always have to discuss it. And then second off, you need to find out. But with overthinking, guys, I'm going to tell you something. Sometimes you have to be okay with the unknown. That's going to be the hardest thing. Growing up, I always worried about my death. When am I going to die? How am I going to die? That's something I had to learn to step away from and say, God, I really don't know what's going to happen, but what helped me with it is in the Bible. The stories in the Bible. There were people who didn't want to die. And who was the most influential person in the Bible who didn't want to die? Who was nervous? Jesus. So what helped me with overthinking is knowing that Christ has literally been through everything I went through. And knowing that I'm not dealing with an angry God. I'm dealing with a God who literally came down just to save us. So I know that even if I feel like there's not a way, God's way will always be perfect. It really will. And guys, you're going to suffer persecution. A lot of bad things are going to happen, but you can't base one experience off of and then say that's it. That's how everything is going to be. That's what overthinking does. Overthinking will literally kill your peace, dude, because you'll have everything you prayed for, but you're still worried about the what if. And I'm telling you, man, that what if, right when you have the what if, you have to catch an F. Okay, I'm meeting a girl. Ready? What if she cheats? Okay, what's a tool that I use to help me? What if she cheats? If she cheats on me, am I losing someone? I talk about it out loud to myself and I break it down. Am I losing someone who's honorable and honest? No. Am I losing someone who had good intentions with me? No. Will God always send someone better for me, and not always what I want, but what I need? And will it always be what I need? Yes. Is this woman, was she even someone I could build a family with knowing that she cheated? No. So what I need to do, what if she cheats? If that's the case, not that she did it, but if that's going to be her characteristics, then let her cheat. That way I could figure out what I need to do. Guys, and my mom told me this and it stuck with me ever since I was a kid. Be okay with your biggest fears. Be okay with it. Because you'll only be able to change it if you're okay with it. And I know what you're thinking, Brandon, what? No. Everyone says the complete opposite. Because if you're not okay with it, then no, look. That's not what I mean. What I mean is this. My biggest fear is I'm gonna die alone. Okay, and even if I do die alone, even if I do I not have God? I'm gonna be okay. I know I'm not going to, but even if I do I not have God to guide me? Am I not gonna be okay anyways? I will. What if I never really reach my goals? Does God not always send us opportunities over and over again? Would God really let me fail? No, it's gonna be okay. Be okay with it. Be okay. It's gonna be, laugh at it. Learn to take that burden off your chest, guys. A lot of you carry a burden wherever you go. That's why you guys will never be free. Not in an arrogant way, but I myself struggle with it. I carry a burden wherever I go. I carry my past around a lot. That was my biggest burden, was my past. I got better with it as I got older, but guys, everyone carries a burden with them. If you let that burden suffocate you, you're going to overthink in everything you do. Everything you do. Don't let the past, the burden, carry into what you need, right? Don't let it destroy what you need. Guys, someone commented on my video. Let's see what they said. Why? What? What do you mean why, dude? I explain why in my videos. I don't know. Some people, man. But yeah, guys, I hope but yeah, so remember with overthinking, guys, it's all in your head. And guys, snap out of your mind into reality. When I overthink and I get a lot of anxiety, don't listen to music. And I already thinking about, Brandon, music helps me. I'm going to put you onto elite ball knowledge, guys. When you're anxious, when you're sad, and you listen to music that matches your frequency, what I mean by when you're sad and you listen to sad music, it's only going to bring you down. When you're overthinking, you cannot listen to music that benefits your overthinking, because that's what we do. If we're thinking about a girl cheating, what do? We listen to music about people cheating, people doing fucked up shit. You need to go out and you need to do something where my mind's here and what I'm reading, what I'm listening to is up here. So I have no choice but to climb that ladder and meet it with it. So I'm at the gym. Oh, something really terrible just happened. I'm not going to listen to music. I'm going to go with my own thoughts and I'm going to talk myself through it. And I'm going to be my best friend and not my worst enemy. I'm not going to run from my thoughts with music, with a TV show. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stay in my own thoughts and I'm going to do something beneficial for my body. And I'm going to climb up those steps and I'm going to meet myself up there. You need to meet yourself in the middle. You need to. But yeah, guys, don't feel like you're less of a person or God, a disappointment in God because you overthink. We all overthink. We all do it. Even everyone in the Bible did. Look at the guy. Oh, who was it? Was it Peter? Oh, I can't remember. He was going to walk on water and he saw the storms and he said, oh my God, what if the storm happens instead and I die? Instead of focusing on Jesus. Focus on Jesus and the promises of God. Guys, I want to say this. If you focus on the promises of God, it leaves no room for overthinking because God will always fulfill his promises. If you struggle with overthinking, meditate on every single promise of God and Jesus. Look them up and meditate on it and repeat the promises of God. Anytime, oh my God, I'm getting so anxious, what do? Continuously repeat the promises of God. Repeat them. Repeat them over and over again. They're always promises for what you're worrying, right? Always repeat the promises of God. He will never ever let you go on and be tempted than what you could bear. He will always provide a way for you. You'll always be saved. You'll always be rescued. But we need to learn to focus on Jesus when we're walking on the water and the storms around us. We need to learn to just focus on him. Meditate on his word and meditate on the promises of God. Meditate on it continuously. But yeah, guys, I hope you liked this video, man. I hope I helped you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.